have the same configuration procedures that we do recommend. I think the equipment room must be kept clean, and the rack for the DGW100 must have a good ventilation systems, and make sure that it is in the proper range with regards to humidity, that is from 10 to 90% non-condensing, with a temperature from 0 to 40 degrees Celsius. With regards to the power supply, yeah, as I mentioned, 100 to 200 volt, 240 with the power supply, and also equipped with the independent power supply. And as much as possible, you need to use a UPS, stabilized power supply. So this is for stability of the power supply on our DGW100. Then check whether the power supply is in normal operation with the use of a multimeter. So with regards to wiring, so I think it's very important to use to check with the Ethernet cable that T1 E1 cables are connected properly, and make sure that the AC or DC power cord is connected to the power supply. And with regards to the grounding, so you need to have a proper grounding, and I think you need to have a separate grounding to the system to have a reliable grounding source, and check that the grounding cable is connected properly. So again, this is the grounding rules. As I mentioned before, it should support not be greater than 3 ohms for the ground resistance. And if there's no grounding conditions, again, you can use any suitable location such as nails or any solid walls that can serve as your temporary grounding source. So same procedure with the connecting to the administration computer, must be on the same network segment. So say for example here, set with the 2.219 with the same network subnet mask, and you'll be able to access the device. So unboxing and starting the DGW100, you need to connect the one port to the debugging computer and turn it on. Then change the computer IP address, say for example 192.168.2.100. Open the browser and log into the administrator interface and modify the IP address. This is to access the network environment. Then connect the device, working environment, and log into the modified IP for configuration. So this is the first must do when you unbox the DGW100. Okay, let's proceed with the basic configurations. So again, we do support web browser using Microsoft Edge, Firefox, and Google Chrome. So the default password is you have set 192.168.2.210. Then select user as admin, then enter the default password VoIP, then click login. Then after that, go to the basic network configuration. So you can set to static IP address, or you can obtain the IP address automatically. But we do recommend to set the static IP address to your DGW100. Then fill in the IP address, subnet mask, default gateway IP address, and of course the primary and secondary DNS server, and click save. Then after that, go to basic SIP configuration. So fill in the register server and proxy server, and you can also fill in the subdomain name and click save. So on the basic ISDN configuration, you can select the DS1 type, T1 interface, I think for North America, and for E1 interface for European, and I think it's very common for the European format, right? And I think for Asia, Europe, Asia, Australia, we use E1, but for North America, they use T1. And yeah, you can select PCM code ULO for North America, ALO for European format. Then set the timing source if the local is chosen. So it indicates that the DGW100 synchronizes with the local device. Then click save. Then you can set the ISDN application. So choose the mode to collecting CDPN. Then you can choose the D channel. So if you're using E1, that's time slot 16, and time slot 24 for T1. Then as I mentioned, you can select the switch type. So network, if the opposite device use network, then on our side you need to use user. So it should not be on the same switch type. So the other side must be user, the other side must be network. Then select the signaling standard. So if you're using the T1, so it should be the NI2 national standard, and we have the CCITT for E1 card. Then after that, you can choose the circuit hunting to forward. This is for searching the idle time slot in the descending order. I think the next slide will show you the circuit hunting. Then the CPN category, you can set that to standard and click save. Yeah, this is the ISDN application configuration. So more on the search mode. So when we select forward, it searches the time slot in the ascending order. So for say for example, in the case of incoming call, the DGW will first check whether the time slot is idle. If not, it will go to the next one, the time slot 2. So that is in the ascending order. Backward is in the descending order. So first it will check the time slot 24, then go in the descending order. Cycle, it means that searches the next idle time slot from left to right. Then we have the routing table configuration. So this one, so again, we have some tips on the routing rule. Just simply click that, and there are some tips how to write the routing rules. Else, you have to set like this one. So again, our DGW 100 do have the 500 rules capacity that includes two functions, digit transformation and the call routing assignment. So the first, say for example here, IP times route ISDN, it indicates that the call with any cold party so is sent to the IP network to the first E1 interface. So you here to all of the E1 interface because I just say ISDN here. If I say ISDN 1, it should go to the first E1 interface. Then here is the number replacement, the next one, right? So here ISDN, it means that the CPN number that is started with 88, so this is the prefix 88, is replaced by this number 612 22700. Then click save. Yeah. Then you need to set access the security access. So here changing the administrator password is this is for changing the operator password. Again, we always recommend you to do some perform following operations. There are some of the illegal hackers that want to access our device, so you need to regularly change your admin password and of course, you can also change the operator password as well. So here we also recommend you to change the input web server port for the HTTPS, and SSH access for accessing the device. And of course, you need to also disable or enable the telnet access. Then you can also input the root password or confirm password for root access level and click save. So here is the advanced security configuration. So again, changing the web GUI and telnet SS password is periodically recommended. Then, as much as possible, disable the telnet and SSS access so that there will be no, illegal access that is permitted to the device. Then change the port number of the web